Hello, it's Peter Wright and Kathleen Beauvais in Ontario, Canada, with another episode of The Yakking Show. And let's introduce co host Kathleen Beauvais from Waterloo, down the road from me. Hi, Kathleen. Nice to see you again. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Peter. Thank you. And thank you all so much for tuning into our show. We appreciate your comments, so please keep those coming. And if anyone is interested in being a guest on our show, would you please just go to our website, theyakkingshow.com. All you have to do is click on the contacts tab where you will find a short application form. We'd love to hear from you. We have a guest today that has been previously on the show, and he's so interesting that we had to have him back, and we love this man. His name is Robert Wilson. Hello, Robert. Welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm probably better than I ever done in my life, but it's just an honor to be here with Kathleen and Peter because you're great interviewers and you got a light energy of expansion.
Thank you so much for that,
Thank you.
Robert. Now, Robert is the founder of Cowboy Wisdom. He performs hypnoacuity, which is a form of hypnotherapy that helps to quiet your mind. And today we'll be talking about energy and how it impacts our everyday lives. So just to give us a brief recap, Robert, of your background, just for those who haven't had the opportunity to see our previous interview with you, can you just give us a little bit about what led you down this path of coaching and facilitating?
Well, in 1997, I was working in Portland, Oregon. I was a union electrician, and I'm proud to, I know a lot of people don't like unions, but I'm proud to be a union electrician. And my life was just stalled out. And so I got into a home-based business, pushed personal growth, and then I expanded out of personal growth and self-help and all that into sovereign expansion and pure liberation. And this is where we're at. In 2008 or 9, I discovered the word expand over the word change. And then my life just progressed. And now it's all about liberation and wisdom and politically incorrect inspiration to break the mold of politically correct perfection programming. And that's where it is, and it's that simple. So if I say any more, I'm complicating it.
Well, I got to jump in quick and say, Robert, it sounds like we're going to be singing out of the same hymn book. Certainly me, from the little bit that I heard from you there. So good. So back to Kathleen.
Robert, there are different types of energies out there, and maybe what we can do is kind of start there, and you can walk us through the different types.
Well, something I've expanded since the last show, everything is a free-flowing energy. When you take the thinking, memory, knowing mind and your viewpoints and opinions out of everything. There's enterprising energy, but it's all up to you what kind of energy you want to experience. But the free-flowing energy, because your mind is energy, your thoughts are energy. So I took that, and it's just using, instead of the word mind, I use scenery. So I can color it. So I have the energy of an artist going through my life. And then liberation, I have the flow of freedom energy. And it's just really about taking the energy that's held us down for all these years. See, we've been taught a lower mind energy, through the systems. So when you let go and open up a free enterprising energy, and you develop words that go here and then come out, then you expand. But the mind is all energy. So if you can entertain the brain to entertain the subconscious scenery, open up your emotions, feelings, and heart, and your soul, you expand. And there's three things: sovereignty, love, and spirit are all equal energy. Everybody's equal till we put our humanoid annoyances in there. And see, that's the thing. You really want to get into the spirit, the sovereignty, and the love energy and let it lead you, because it slows down your thinking, knowing, memory, mind, and dissolves the subconscious frozen in time representation. And we've been taught low energy words and way to live in life through the school system, society, and ourselves and our parents. Because our subconscious mind is a hand-me-down, it's like hand-me-down clothes. It's been handed all the way down. And even in the business world, it's been handed all the way down. So it's really about understanding the pure liberation of this moment. And that's all you have, because the past, present, and future is all right here.
So for those that are watching this for the first time and really are not getting a sense of what this means to them, can you give us some examples of, trying to liberate one's energy or to just change one's energy through thoughts?
When it comes, you're trying to think, you have something happen out of the ordinary or even life. Every morning you get up thinking about what your day is. And then you start complaining about your day. There's your day. It's going to be a complaining day. If you wake up in the morning with a fresh energy, like I'm astonishing, accomplished, and dynamic, you break that pattern. And we've been taught, and I was really, this is a personal one here. I can share this. You wake up hating your job. You wake up hating life because you taught yourself to hate life.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's what, but when you open up to understand, life is love, imagination, freedom every day. The only one that's controlling you is you. And so I had to wake up, and this happened about 5 months ago. The outside world does nothing to you.
Mm-hmm.
You do it all to yourself with your subconscious representations. And I was going to walk in the desert, and that hit me, and I thought, well, what the heck? But it really is. The outside world is a tour guide and your subconscious mind, but we are so taught to look at the world by what's wrong, because education looks at us like we have problems. We look at ourselves like we have problems. Everybody in self-help, personal growth, they look at you like you have problems. And then you tell your problems to somebody and you tell their advice,
Mm-hmm.
you're in their limitations. And go ahead.
So are you referring then to self-talk, the noise that we have in our own minds? We have to change that dialogue within our own minds first. And before you answer that, Robert, for those of you listening and viewing this video, we lost Peter because he's been having power outages all day. So I'm sure he's going to try to join us as soon as we can, but that's why he's dropped off the screen.
And Kathleen, it isn't self-talk. It's talk from inspiration in your dreams. Where you're going in life is where you want to talk. You can't go into life. Let's say you had challenges yesterday and you talk the same vocabulary today. You got to get vocabulary of inspiration and expansion.
Okay.
And I call it the liminal lingo. For me, it's expand, energize, enterprise, experience, appreciate, liberation, sovereign expansion, wisdom, and inspiration. Because there's something, education and knowledge are never in wisdom. Wisdom is the experience. And you was talking earlier, we want to talk about everything that happened in history. We never want to talk about the wisdom that history showed us, because we keep repeating it, because it's a subconscious frozen in time representation and the ancestor survival mode thinking. And that's where we have to expand out of. And this sounds hard, but it's just every day, really be aware of the words you speak from in here to out there. It's what you speak out here. And see, like for me, expand over change, just say it takes away the thinking, aggravating the frozen in time representations in your subconscious mind. So the words you speak, you want to dissolve the anxiety that comes from the speaking, because your life is going to take you to the challenges, chaos, and adversity to expand you. But here's the thing. The biggest one I awakened to is I've never had challenge, chaos, adversity, or any of that. I was introduced to awakenings, but I was too hard-headed to admit it. So everything in life is an awakening.
All right. So I'm just trying to capture maybe examples here for those of us listening to you, what that might look like in our everyday life. So if I get up in the morning and I'm feeling down, I'm feeling depressed, how do I go about changing that? Because I know it's up to me. I have a choice to be happy or not, but how do I change that? Any tips on how to slowly or gradually over time to change that dialogue?
Now, that's one of the best questions to be asked. Sometimes sit down and ask yourself, why is this occurring to expand me? Where's the wisdom? Because that is showing you something that's hiding within you.
Right.
And that liberation is about letting it out and letting go internally.
Right.
And see, we try to use the outside world to fix that. And yet we stay the same because we go to the water cooler or go to work and we start complaining and we get in with everybody else's complaining, draining delusions. The thing about that is that is an awakening. Why is this occurring to expand me? Because I don't care who you are, it goes like this.
Oh,
Some days
absolutely. You don't get out of life without ups and downs.
and see the biggest thing, Kathy, I've never made a mistake, but I've energized some hellacious awakenings that made me say son of a bun several times. But that's the thing. Life is an awakening. It's occurring to expand you. And that question, why is this occurring to expand me? And sometimes turning on, for me, I cheat because I got a book called Endless Inspiration on audio. It's available on church. I just play that because there's no not words in there. That's not telling you what to do. And if you're having that, write something inspirational or I call it a liminal hymn.
Okay.
Write something magical with it. Write something inspiration about that. Like for me, it's I chime the rhyme. I'm a divine prime time trend-setting imagination magically expanding out of this. Make it a little song of expansion. And this is something I've done, and I don't want to get this. I can get it up here too far from people, and I don't want to do that. But it's really discovering your own way out of it. And get into the liminal landscape. And the liminal landscape is above the threshold. And sometimes just step back and look at yourself through an enemy's eyes. If you're an enemy, what would you say to yourself? Because you're going to be the most honest with yourself that way.
True.
Not necessarily an enemy, but what would you say to yourself if you were just an outside source that didn't know you or didn't understand you? But I'm really going to emphasize this big time. Take all the words you learned in school, because we was taught a low vibration vocabulary. And for me, when I expanded out of change, heal, create, transformation, forgiveness, acceptance, and all that, and went to expand, energize, enterprise, experience. Now I won with fun. It opens it up. And make a joke of it. And the favorite one is how is this situation a fisherman's fable? If you use a metaphor, it takes it away. And I can write the fisherman's fable and say, I'm the fish that got away. See how liberating that is and how quick?
It sounds like you're almost suggesting, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that instead of seeing your life from within yourself, step outside and look down at what's going on.
Look down on your own life and see what you see. But the thing is, you don't have to be brutal. You just have to be honest. And also, how did your parents handle things? How did they go through life and they handle adversity? Because I pick me, I was 100% mirrored my parents. 100%. My dad and mom had kind of a combative communication. Well, I had it until I admit it's going on. Don't try to cover it up. Don't do this. Admit it to get rid of it and give yourself permission to let it go. Discharge it and let it go. And that's the thing about all this personal growth, whatever you want to call, I call it sovereign expansion. Give yourself permission to let it go. And also write yourself a poem of liberation. Don't try to, and take everybody you blamed out of your life because they didn't do nothing. All that is an image. And see, everything that's negative in you or positive even is a vision, words, images. deal with them and the emotions and the feelings. And mostly it's all got to be discharged in the body, because
Right.
as soon as something happens, the brain, the emotions, the feelings, and all inside, they take a snapshot and that becomes a memory. Then when that memory is activated in your daily life, because see, it's your daily life that activates it. Your daily life's a tour guide to liberation.
And would you agree that when you relive, or the memory of it actually almost enhances it or amplifies it?
Like, like a rock concert.
Yeah.
I mean, really. And sometimes you want to make fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you can laugh at it, you can get rid of it. But if you think and know and really focus on it, you're going to get deeper in.
Right.
And see, that was triggered by an outside event.
Mm-hmm.
How is that event keeping occurring? And it isn't a past event. It's a present moment event. See, that's the thing. Everybody wants to heal the past. You forget to stop healing the past and liberate the now. You naturally open the wanderer's well within you to feel the thrills of life.
Right.
And see, me, I've learned to do this with rhymes. And if you can make a rhyme, like I'm a prime time trendsetter, and just start letting that take over, you don't always get in it. But my favorite question is, why is this event, encounter, experience occurring for me to expand out of it? See, and I stopped helping people. I don't use the word help, because when you say the word help, that's coming from you. So you're really subconsciously, you're not saying the same thing, because the subconscious mind has a different meaning for everything. So you take the word help, and I show people a better way, or I expand people out of to expand people of. See how quiet your mind see how quiet you become on the inside. You really want to develop a vocabulary, the wisdom to quiet yourself. And you want to keep that's why I took therapy out of my life and used hypnoacuity.
Right.
Because acuity is vision, listening, and inspiration. And if you take the word mind and think and know out of your life and knowledge, you start opening up to the wisdom within you, because knowledge is the books, wisdom is the experience. And all that experience and all that stuff out here is getting your hands dirty to expand out of it.
Right. Right.
It gives you the wisdom to walk away.
Oh, so here is we're back with Peter. Hello, Peter. Welcome back.
Good to see you, Peter.
And
Good.
you're
Hang on.
muted. Yeah, there
There
you
we
go.
are. How's that? Can you hear me now?
Yes, you just
Yeah.
need to adjust the camera.
Great. I'm on my laptop sitting here in the dark using my phone as a hotspot. It took me a bit of time to work that out. Sorry about that, but I'm facing into the mic. How's that? Still bright. I can't do much about that. Anyway,
That's okay. We'll carry on, Peter. We're
let's keep going.
if you want to carry on with number 4.
Right. I didn't actually ask Robert what I was going to ask him about liminal lingo. I don't know. Did you catch up on that at all?
He did touch on that, but
Okay, so let's not go over old ground. So, Robert, one of your goals is to modernize people's wisdom, to expand out of yesterday and energize today's encounters, experiences, and events. So, tell our audience a little bit more about that. I mean, there's a lot in that statement.
Well, here's the thing. We think and know our way to yesterday. That's the thing you have to really open up to understand. We think and know our way to yesterday. Today is a fresh stroll of sassy tenacity, realizing optimistic lure, loving life. And see, you can't come in with yesterday's thinking and knowing and expect something new today or now today. And something else I use now, the word now instead of new, because everything occurs here. Right in front of you is where your life occurs. And when you energize the wisdom of today, you're in the garden fresh foresight of your life. And the thing about knowledge, it's good up until yesterday. Today's the wisdom.
Mhm.
And the enterprise, the reason I use enterprise, it comes from here. I only use words I feel right here. If I don't feel them here, and I'm really pay close attention to make sure I entertain the brain rather than sustain yesterday's brain and be in the pain of it.
Right.
We think and know our way into all of our challenges. But imagination and inspiration, as soon as you open your eyes in the morning, the imagination, inspiration, innovation of now begins. Now I begin, now I won. And see, the thing is get a vocabulary of present moment. Because
okay.
And see, that's what expand, energize, enterprise, sovereign expansion. It's all here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what my next question was going to be. How do you help people energize their vocabulary? It's just changing negative words for more positive, uplifting, something that just sings to their hearts.
Dissolve the words that you use before the event, the unsavory event happened. And see, everybody's trying to change, heal, create their life. Them are the words I pick on because of the comments. But you change, pain and change. Expand is grand to understand the better way.
Right.
And see how that rhymes, but there's pain and change because there's memory. And transformation, being an electrician, we bring it in 500,000 volts. We drop it all the way down. Transformation is a sideways movement. Heal is a memory.
Mm-hmm.
Liberation is freedom. Say heal, you're trying to remember the event. Liberation, you take the memory away. And that's what the liminal lingo is really taking the words that have memory with you out of your life. And here's the thing about the words: develop your own liminal lingo. And for me, and I don't care if people use mine's expand, energize. It'd probably take an hour to tell you all of them, but I pretty much threw the dictionary away. If I don't have a word I like, I make one. But the 3 words that I've come with since the last time I was with you,
yes,
is energy, energized, and enterprise. I witnessed my spine tingling energy to calmly communicate my energizing epiphanies, energizing to entertain my brain, to calmly communicate with my subconscious scenery, fashion designing my electro scenarios of my dreams. And that's called a liminal hymn.
Okay.
And see, something I'm going to share with people. When you want to make, everybody makes a vision board.
Yes.
Make a video with a liminal hymn and make it unique to every dream, everything you want. That way you can put it on something and play it. Or I'll make it an achievement video or a video of what you want in that. And the thing about this is we've been taught to stay the same and never get beyond the yawn of education.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, and I pick on education way too much, but it's fun. But education is your greatest asset. It's also your greatest limitation. But how's your education level for it make you unteachable? Because I've been on a lot of shows, and if you bring up something that's outside of the education, they don't comprehend it, and then they get all. That's happened to me a lot. And the more I'm into the liberation of myself there is. That's why I call it pure liberation, because it shuts off the thinking memory mind. And that's all we're here to do is you liberate you from you, your viewpoints, opinions, and beliefs. You couldn't be in the thief of your dreams. We're the thief of our dreams. The outside world's innocent. As much as the first time that happened, there was a little argument within me. But once you understand the outside world did nothing, and all your parents were here for is to show you and begin you on your path of enlightenment to feed your previous lives. And we do have previous lives because our subconscious mind has stuff ingrained in there that you could live 300 lifetimes without one thought and still not get close.
Right. No, I think I agree with you about formal education. I think it's, and I know that some people will disagree with me, but I do see it as programming the mind. It really is programming the mind, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
That's the most wisest thing you probably will ever say in your life. Yes. and so for me, when I get an email on somebody's wants me to do their stuff, if I see the word program, redo, reinvent, or redo, they're gone. It's
So
now do, circuit, now accomplish. See the difference in the words?
Mm-hmm.
And the word program, I scrambled that because program, all a program is their thoughts, viewpoints, opinions about their life and what they think is wrong with the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say this quick: stop listening to people who are telling you what to do. Stop telling people what to do. And when somebody says, I want you to do, scram, because all they want you to do is buy their product. Open up.
I want to get a quick one in. We're running out of time here, and you may have covered some of this, but picking up on what you and Kathleen have just been saying about formal education, I think I told you last time I lived in Africa for most of my life, and some of the happiest, well-balanced, most contented people who feel they're living with a purpose I've ever met are some of the most least educated. I'm talking about tribal people living in mud huts and this sort of thing. I don't want to live in a mud hut, don't get me wrong, but I have to think, and I'd like your opinion on this, that the way our society has evolved is responsible for a lot of these problems that we've been talking about, and a lot of this lack of energy and frustration and nervous disorders. What's your thoughts on that, Robert?
You're 300% on the deal. And here's the thing. If you've ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Kiyosaki,
yeah,
that is the true deal.
Sure.
The uneducated dad was a rich dad. The educated dad was a poor dad. And that is true. And what you said about the indigenous people, the world is begging for indigenous wisdom more than any time in history. I wrote a keynote the other day called Indigenous Ingenuity. I missed my life because I was so busy thinking and knowing, trying to do something. I forgot to listen and witness the clarity and wisdom of my daily life, the little stuff. I always stayed in the big stuff. We think and know in the big, we listen for the little expansions.
Yeah, we do indeed.
Right. So just to give our viewers and our listeners kind of an idea of how you go about helping them, can you walk me through what initial steps you would take with me if I were to contact you as, say, a client?
Well, if you contacted me, we'd have a conversation about where you're at. And first thing we would do is show you a way you'd have to write out how you appreciate yourself and why you're a success right where you're at.
Wow. Yes. And you know what? How many people feel like a success where they are currently? I mean, really, I'm asking the question out there.
No, they wouldn't. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
You take all of society's definitions out of your life. You make your own. You can expand the definition, but you're a success and you are wise where you're at. Not smart, but wise right where you're at. Because then you have to ask yourself, how did my thinking, knowing, and trying to fit into society to get me to where I'm at today? But it's appreciate your current situation. And also you're going to write a liberating poem about your vim, vigor, and valor to start the expansion. And first thing is we're going to use the word expand over change. That's the first thing.
Okay.
And it's that simple. We don't have to complicate it.
We don't. So talking about something that's simple, you've worked with lots of people. So Robert, in your mind, is there a single characteristic or habit that differentiates those who become successful in their definition, and I also mean not just making money, but being well balanced and having a contented life, is there one thing that differentiates them from those who remain miserable and average, or is it a lot more complicated than that?
It's just an FO attitude. They told society to F off.
Yeah.
That's basically all it is.
Good one. I like that. Oh, that's lovely. Yes, thank you.
Oh, and they did one other thing. They kept their eye on their dreamer's prize, and they told the rest of the world to mind your own freaking business.
Yeah, yeah. Lovely.
Words of wisdom there.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we are running short on time, Robert, but can you please tell our audience how they can contact you?
Yeah, my website is mycowboywisdom.com. You can get on there. There's tons of reading. There's audios, meditation, and my email is robert@mycowboywisdom.com. And I do give a free 1-hour consultation to see if we want to travel through life together.
I love the way you put that, Robert. That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for.
Oh, I'll say one more thing. Quit walking through life. Quit walking through stroll. Get the stroll going, and always walk downhill, because to walk downhill, you got to be balanced and focused.
Good one. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me be here. This is fun.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Our pleasure. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Robert. And once again, thank you all for tuning into our show. We apologize once again for our little bit of internet hiccup there with Peter, but he's back here with us. And until next time, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
But one more, can I get one more word in
sure,
quick? Seeing as I missed out on the middle part of the show, so from my side, thank you, Robert, as well. Just to our audience, to make sure you don't miss future episodes like the one you're just watching, on our website, theyakkingshow.com, there's a form where you can sign up and get our reminders every week about all our forthcoming newsletters. Thank you. That's me done.
Absolutely. It's so important. Thanks for reminding us there, Peter. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.